On my screen now, people, no fucking a batch up. Where Road to Reactions, really saying latest channel coming out the UK by far. Make sure you drop a like, comment and subscribe if you ain't already done so. Turn the notification bells on and join the family, man. Send them reactions in, send them requests, send a comment, drop a like, you know the deal. Let's build these algorithms. Let's get YouTube on my platform, on my way, posting my shit every day, every way. Yeah, that shit rhyme. But yes, people, forget all that, man. We're here, and right now all you can see is a blank screen. You're probably thinking, what the fuck? This Donny ain't got nothing going on. Trust me, I'm here. Headphones come on, done. So to read. Yeah, but yes, people, we're here. I'm set. I've got my drink. You know about the Sprite. I've got my sweets. For those that love to, yeah, possibly moan. I can hear you chewing, bro. Get out of here then, man. And I got my vape. We're good to go, and I got used. And we're good. We're good to go. Trust me. I was going to go live, but I think to myself, maybe tomorrow. I might do that tomorrow. Because I'm thinking to myself, go live whilst reacting. Whilst reacting, not reaction, but yes. Without further ado, people, man, we're going to get into this. And where is that just gone? Because I'm going to give a big shout out to AE Milo, FryX4473, but big shout out to AE Milo hooking me up. Pardon me. No, big shout out to FryX4473, my bad. You know what I'm saying? Just dropped this next reaction. Australia's Deadly Gang War, GW vs 21 District, UK draw plug. Let me subscribe to this real quick. Because I ain't gonna lie, like I just literally said to my man in the comments, I don't know nothing about Australia apart from nice weather, good holiday destination, and 1-4. Obviously I know, you know what I'm saying, every country's got their madnesses, you know what I'm saying. I know about, true say, I know Australia's got a thing for biker gangs and biker wars and that, so true say I know a little bit about that, but I don't know too much. That's why you lot are here to help me. But yes, without further ado, we're going to get straight into this. Big shout outs to, bro, I can't remember your name, even though I just had it. It's a weird one, it's got numbers and shit. Where you gone? No. FryX4473, big shout out to you, my guy, appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? You lot need to jump on his wave ASAP, and I've noticed the views are going slightly a bit down. We need to be pushing this. I'm only seeing 1-2 subscribers now a day. I've been on this shit for like what, 4 days? Don't get me wrong, probably gained about 70 subscribers in these last 4 days. I'm doing good, I am. But at the same time, we could be doing a lot better. You know what I'm saying? The impressions and leaks are a lot better. But yeah, fuck all that, man. Let's get into this. Australia's Deadly Gang War. This is GW versus 21 District. I don't know who either one of these are. I'm pretty sure. Oh, what did my man say in the comments again? Because this shit goes over 1-4. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking 1-4, the big gang problem. I'm hearing this shit goes over that. Where is it? Here we go. Big shout out to AE Milo. Deadly War in Australia, and it's in Australia, GW first, it goes over the beef that 1-4 is involved in. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm sat here thinking 1-4 is, yeah, that's the whole reason. Nah, man. We're about to find out right now. So let's do this. No more talking.
A man has been murdered in Sydney's
a
west.
week after the deadly stabbing of a 17-year-old.
Oh shit.
Now Sydney is
the deadly stabbing of a 17-year-old.
I just heard some sad shit, then I just heard this track. Who's this track?
Now Sydney is.
Ooh, big Malachi track come around and got sprayed up out of his coop. I can't know, I'm probably about to get copyrighted just for them few seconds, but it is what it is. Sometimes
and is in fact
got to take a loss with a
New
win.
South Wales. And whilst a lot of people most well-known.
Okay, wait.
Now Sydney is one of the most well-known cities in the world, and is.
That's true. I've heard. I don't know about most well known. I've definitely heard of Sydney. By far, I've heard of Sydney. Oh yeah, I know Australia's good for tennis as well. I know that, and then water sports. She's like probably thinking I'm making Australia as soft as hell right now. I'm not. I just don't know. But I'm about to. Yeah. After I watch this video,
is
probably have a whole different insight.
And whilst a lot of people confuse.
Alright, that's what I want to ask as well. I know I keep stopping, but from watching a few border, I don't know them airport fucking border patrol channels, I've never got why it's, but then again it's like America, they've all sucked the UK's names. It's like certain countries around the world copying the UK's names, man. It's like New South Wales. I've never got that. Technically, we ain't got New South Wales. We've got South Wales. We ain't got
the
New
capital
South
of Australia. This is actually false, as the capital of
this shit
Australia
is
is
jarring.
Canberra. As of 2022, Sydney was home to around 5.2 million people. Currently, is Canberra. As the capital of Australia, this is actually false,
wait.
as the capital of Australia is Canberra. As of 2022.
See, I've never heard of Canberra.
Sydney was home to around 5.2 million
Capital
people
of Australia,
currently in and around the city. Sydney is best known for its popular tourist destinations, an example being the Sydney Opera House. This alone attracts tourists.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard of
all
that.
over
I've
the
seen
world.
pictures
However,
of that.
what a lot of these tourists are unaware of is the ongoing and deadly gang war that has been playing out within the streets of Sydney, resulting in multiple people being shot, stabbed, and killed, with the spotlight then being shone on the young rappers on both sides of the rivalry.
Shit is jarring,
Subsequently result.
This shit is literally jarring me the fuck up. I don't know if any reactors out there watching this, you know what I'm saying, big shout out to you. You know, if you've got that green screen behind your back, I don't know, give me recommendations, Amazon, wherever. I need to get a proper green screen that covers my whole shit, not just my chair. That
in the
makes sense.
Australian
But
drill
yes,
scene
enough of that. So far I've learned out that Sydney ain't the capital, Canberra is. Sydney Opera House is most popular, and we're about to find out the rest. No more stopping.
This being the bloody and deadly gang war between an alliance of street gangs based around the inner west of Sydney and greater western Sydney. Prominent gangs from inner west being Proper 60, G40 and MOB, although I'll speak about other
Okay, see, that's what I'm saying, I ain't heard of none of them. What did you
between
just
an
say?
alliance of street gangs based around the inner.
This is why I fuck with people like, well, I ain't never fucked with UK Draw Plug, I probably have, but I don't remember his name. This is what I'm saying, look, Guildford. Some of these names are UK names, man. But yeah, man, these gangs ain't heard of
Western
these.
Sydney. Prominent gangs from inner west being Proper 60, G40 and MOB, although I'll speak about
Proper
other
60,
inner west gangs later on
G40,
within this video.
MOB.
These inner west
Okay.
gangs then rivaling the street gangs from greater western Sydney, which is home to multiple prominent gangs, including 1-4, LF7.
Okay, so the inner west is beefing the outer west, basically. Bit nuts, but okay. Every country, every city's, you know what I'm saying, their politics, their shit's different. So okay, we gotta respect it. Time people.
RFA 17. The rivalry between both gangs from the inner west and greater western Sydney has been playing out within the streets for around a decade, which is crazy as it was only in the last few years that rappers on both sides began making noise in the Australian drill scene. Although this wouldn't mean anything, as the rappers on each side are in a deadly feud with one another, resulting in broad daylight shootings, stabbings, and murders occurring, leading me to believe that this may be the craziest video I have made to date. But without further ado, let's get into one of
Yeah. Even though you've reacted to man that all on 5 million.
The craziest gang rivalries I've spoken about on this channel.
1-4, 27 district, T, G40, now 21 district.
A teenager has died outside Blacktown police station.
So to begin with, the first alliance of gangs is based around Greater Western Sydney, this being a large region that makes up the larger Sydney. The Greater Western area of Sydney is home to an alliance of gangs, more specifically based around the postcode that begins with 27, mainly around the Mount Druitt area. The gangs I'll be talking about include NF14 based around Mount Druitt. This gang is more popularly known as 1-4, the NF14 gang being based around the 2770 postcode, LF7.
I was gonna say, what is it, 27 district versus 21?
Also based
Or am I
around
wrong?
the
I'm gonna keep
2770
listening,
postcode, RFA 17. Once again being from the 2770 postcode, and finally section 60 from nearby St. Mary's. For simplicity's sake, I, like many others, will refer to these collections of crews as 27 district, or just 27, as the postcode begins with 27, although the alliance of gangs also goes by other names. Other gangs are known to be affiliated with the gangs from 27 district, although if they aren't relevant to the story, I won't really speak on them. A few streets away from the Greater West allied gangs lies a rival gang known as 6-7, this being based around the suburb of Dunes.
6-7, yeah?
Which is
man, that LD and a monkey in it, man.
It's important to note, however, that this 6-7 gang is not affiliated with the 27 district gangs, but instead the 6-7 gang is affiliated with their rivals from Inner West.
Okay. So if anything, them man are more fucked, because them man are in the same postcode, but they ain't linked up. Nah man, I'm fucking with the ops.
Or the
I'm fucking with the
21
other side.
district, the gangs that directly rival the gangs from the 27 district.
So it must get real
is that of
sticky for
21
them.
District, which, as you could probably tell, is a group of
Yeah, see? I got it right.
gangs based
21
around the
versus
21
27.
postcode.
Okay.
This then being in the inner west of Sydney. The gangs based around the 21 district include RFL from Blacktown 2148, G40 from Guildford 2161, Proper 60 or ML60 from Maryland's 2160. This Proper 60 gang being the gang that popular rapper A Huncho hails from. These group of gangs are closely allied with one another and have a rivalry with the gangs from Mount Druitt from the 27 postcode.
I've heard of A Huncho. So wait, is A Huncho
This
beefing
collection
1-4?
of gangs from the
Let me
21
know, please.
postcode is often referred to more simply as 21 District, or IWB, which is an acronym for Inner West Brothers, or Inner West Brotherhood, due to how many gangs are involved, and in order to not confuse you, I'll refer to both sides of the rivalry as 27 District and 21 District. Now, you may be confused as to how gangs from two completely different postcodes within Sydney have come to have such a deadly rivalry with one another, resulting in brazen and violent.
It's quite easy, man. One thing starts, you know what I'm saying? And the craziest thing, this whole beef here, I don't know about these, my specific beef, but certain beef, you even ask them, most of them probably don't even know what it is about because it's so that far beyond them. But I guarantee most beef starts over the most littlest things, bro. Like a little money debt, a drug debt, or I don't know, you tried it with my girl. The most simplest, dumbest things that could have, yeah. Next thing you know, 10 years down the line, like 12 men have been dead.
Attacks
All
occurring in the streets of
this,
Sydney.
yeah.
Whilst it's not known how the rivalry between these groups of gangs began, what is known is as far back as 2015 teenage gang members from Doonside and Mount Druitt were getting into fistfights with one another over postcode territory. This then slowly evolving into stabbings and shootings. One of the first incidents recorded between the gangs was in 2015 when a fight video was uploaded onto YouTube titled Doonside vs Mount Druitt. This video showing a group of NF14 members fighting HS members from Doonside in a Sydney street, and whilst no one was seriously injured, it would appear that these fights slowly escalated into a full-on postcode war. It's rumored that the gang from Doonside, Mount Druitt, and Blacktown was known as RFL, before the olders made younger members pick sides, with new gangs being created, examples being 6-7, RFA, and GRC, with it being believed that the gangs on the 27 postcode.
I ain't gonna lie, man. There's a lot of gangs, bro. A lot of postcodes, a lot of names, a lot of gangs to keep up with.
Postcode that started with 21. Now, it's important to note that Doonside is based around the 27 postcode, although the gang that is based in Doonside is known as 6-7 and actually has a rivalry with other 27 district gangs. This 6-7 gang then siding with the 21 district gangs. Another incident occurred only months later in October 2015 when a 23-year-old man was beaten to death outside of a shop in Mount Druitt and was later found by passersby a few hours after the attack. It's rumored that the man.
Oh, man said he got punched up to death. Do you know how brutal and tapped you gotta be, bro? Just been constantly punching, kicking till my man just collapse. Ain't no quick or. Man said bang, bang.
Man killed had alleged
yeah,
ties to the NF14 crew, which has more popularly become known as 1-4, with some even stating that the killer fled shortly after the brutal attack and made his way back to Blacktown, home to the 2148 street gang RFL or MOB. Rest in peace.
Okay.
During this time, the rivalry was more commonly known as Inner West versus Greater West, as like I discussed before, both groups of gangs were based in different sides of Sydney. The 27 postcode gangs in Greater West and the 21 postcode gangs in Inner West. In the first few months of
So 1-4's already lost someone.
the NF14 gang began to make noise in the underground Australian drill scene, releasing a direct diss track to the Inner West gangs, this being titled Inner West Diss. Within this song, the members referenced multiple incidents that saw rival members being stabbed or shot, as well as referencing multiple brawls that had occurred between the groups of gang members in the months prior. In both 2017 and 2018, the 1-4 collective began to make a huge noise in the Aussie drill scene, even beginning to make their own wave, which was not ever seen before, releasing huge tracks like Don't Want It in 2017 and What You Know in 2018. And whilst it looked as if 1-4 could explode in the Australian drill scene, in July 2018, a massive brawl that included 1-4's key members occurred. This then subsequently resulting in 1-4's most prominent and well-known members facing.
Untold story of the violent pub rampage by rap group 1-4 that saw 3 members jail and how that the owner was knocked out when he won. All the attack was. I said, your attack's on camera. I'll catch it all on camera. What? Bang! Shut up. Let's say a blow by a blow account of brutal 1-4 pub melee revealed in court papers. 3 rap group members have been jailed over July 8, 2008 in Carousel in Brawl. 1 victim was bludgeoned with a hammer and left in a pool of his own blood. Daily Mail Australia has been told victim can't remember a thing from the night. He recently had wrenching experience of watching CCTV. Man said he had to watch that shit back. He had to watch himself get his ass kicked, I thought. Yeah, I don't remember nothing. I don't remember nothing, man.
Gang war. In July 2018, 1-4 members Lex 14, YP, and Selly were in a pub when a brawl broke out between a group of men and the 1-4 members. Lex beat up a man until he was unconscious, before then taunting the unconscious man. Another 1-4 member known as YP used a chair leg and smashed it into a rival's head, whilst Selly repeatedly hit another man with a hammer. Now, this entire attack was caught on CCTV, thus leading to the arrests of all of the members involved. And in the end, Lex was given 4.5 years, whilst YP was given 4 years for his role in the attack, and finally Selly was given a 10-year sentence. These 3 arrests took 1-4's most prominent...
Man said Selly, bro, I swear I just done a video where my man was on my phone to him in the can.
And finally Selly was given a 10-year sentence. These
So taking wait, Selly's the one that's done the hammer rap.
Most prominent members off the
Hence why he got the most
resulting in other rappers beginning to carry the 1-4 name. It's believed that around this time, a group of Inner West members from 21 were on their way home from watching a rugby match when they were noticed by rival Greater West, 27 members. It's rumored that following this, a young member from the Greater West or 27 gang retrieved a claw hammer and beat the rival Inner West member on a train. Images surfaced following the attack showing a man with a severely bloody head. However, that is way too shocking to show on YouTube. Luckily, however, no one was seriously injured.
I was gonna say, they ain't gonna show this.
Only a few months following this incident in October 2018, a member associated with 21 District would be killed by rival 27 members, resulting in get-back shootings and stabbings occurring, this being the death of Tino. On the 6th of October 2018, 20-year-old Tino Henry, who had alleged ties to the 21 District gang, would be standing with friends in an underpass near Fitzwilliam Street, which was close to Westfield, Parramatta. Tino and his friends were noticed by rival gang members from the Greater West crew, alleged to have been the LF70 gang, with a massive brawl then ensuing. Sadly, during this fight, Tino was stabbed multiple times with the wounds he sustained, proving to be fatal. As upon emergency services arrival on the scene, he was treated before he was rushed to Westmead Hospital, in which he sadly died a few hours later. Only a few minutes following the stabbing, 3 young men were arrested on nearby Hassall Street. The 3 men arrested were a 17-year-old who was charged with the murder and was refused bail, a 20-year-old, and a 16-year-old who was later released from police custody, with it being rumored that in the end, the LF70 member was given 3 years for the murder of Tino, as he was under the age of 18. Rest in peace.
What? What? I said 3 years. Bro. 3 years for a body. That's nuts. I can't lie. I'm pretty sure. But ain't this the place where you can get 4 years for a body? Man said 3 years. Poked him up, killed him. See if you done that over here, regardless of your age. You're getting at least minimum 15 years.
Henry.
Minimum.
Following Tino's death,
that's
the
nuts.
1-4 gang was completely exploded in the Australian drill scene, with the collective dropping the track titled What You Know around 20 days following Tino's death. This track currently sitting on around 3.6 million views, which was very good for an Australian drill rapper. This track currently sitting on around 3.6 million views, which was very good for an Australian drill rapper. At the beginning of 2000, 3.6 views, which was very...
Bro, why did he just repeat himself? A UK drill plug. I don't know if anyone's pulled you up on that, but bro, you just repeated yourself.
Sitting on around 3.6 million views, which was very good for an Australian drill rapper. This track currently sitting on around 6 million views, which was very good for an Australian
second time he said it.
At the beginning of 2019, 1-4 released the popular track titled Shanks and Shivs, which also gained a lot of attention, sitting on around 4 million views. It would actually be their next drop that would blow them into the mainstream, this being The Message, which was released in March 2019 and featured multiple disses towards Tino and the 21 District gangs. An example was when JM rapped, "Now, I'm proud to say to this day forward that the 7 put an op on a shirt." This line referencing the murder of Tino and how 27 District members were responsible. Later in the track, YP rapped the line, "21 what? But 1 got knocked. Ha, I guess that makes them 20. This also being a diss toward Tino. The death of Tino was thought to have resulted in retaliation attacks, one of these being in 2019, when a member associated with the 27 gang recorded himself chasing the Inner West rapper rapper J Lex in Guildford. Luckily, J Lex made it out alive, but hours later he would arm himself and would travel to Mount Druitt with his brother in order to get back. The Inner West members, including J Lex, traveled to Mount Druitt in multiple cars. The members noticed a few 27 district members, and what followed this was a massive brawl in a car park. J Lex and his brother were both stabbed multiple times in a deadly and vicious attack, with both being rushed to hospital. However,
Hey bro, man said, but I can't. That's not still. I was gonna say that's wet, but bro, that shit happens like that. But man said, bro, these man nearly caught you lacking. You managed to get away. You went to your people, your brother, your main brother. You're like, yeah, this man nearly caught me lacking, rah. Grab the things. Let's go. Ride out. You ride out. Get caught and get smoked. That's sad. I can't lie.
Was a massive brawl in a car park.
That's sad.
Lex and his brother were both stabbed multiple times in a deadly and vicious attack, with both being rushed to hospital. However, both J Lex and his brother went on to survive the attack. This violent incident was later mentioned in YP from 1-4's track titled Ben 10, in which he mentioned the incident, rapping,
run up, get chef, lock at least he tried his best. 1-4.
Now, remember I said that 1-4 had released a track titled The Message. Well, in July 2019, 21 District released a direct response to this track titled The Reply. This song gained a massive amount of attention, as both gangs were now warring it out in the public eye. The Reply currently...
I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna have to react to one of 21 District.
Views. A few days following the release of The Reply, Spenny from 1-4 got into an argument online with a 21 District member who had made fun of Spenny's dead mum. Spenny then traveled onto Guildford, which was 21 District, and made a series of snaps on the block dissing his rivals. He then left after 25 minutes of lurking on his rival block. During this time, 1-4 had released their track titled Spot the Difference, which was an instant hit and blew up almost instantly, currently sitting on around 20 million views, which is crazy as no one had really gained this success in the Australian drill scene. However, what a lot of fans didn't know about was the ongoing gang feud that was only going to get more deadly as the years go on, with another violent incident occurring in the summer months of 2020. On the 28th of August 2020, at around 9:45 p.m., a member of the LF70 gang from 27, known under the street name Junes, was walking with a friend on Church Street when he was noticed by rivals from the alleged KTV gang. A verbal altercation then ensued. However, the argument slowly escalated, with Junes then attempting to run away. However, he was chased down by the attackers and was stabbed multiple times all over his body. Following the attack, the assailants then fled the scene, with emergency services arriving on scene shortly after. Junes was rushed to hospital and luckily went on to survive the attack. Now, not much.
These men must have good doctors out in Australia. A lot of men be surviving.
What is known is that around this time in 2020, Section 60 members from 27 District were kidnapped by Inner West youngers and forced to deny involvement. They were also told to say, Inner West on top. This entire incident was recorded and uploaded onto social media, where it has since gained thousands of views. At the end of 2020, 1-4 linked up with the UK rappers Heady One, AJ Tracy, and Stormzy. This song was titled Ain't It Different Remix. And as you can guess, this was a remix.
I ain't even heard of that one. I have not heard of that one. I probably wouldn't do it.
Track, Ain't It Different,
they'd probably get blocked.
AJ Tracy and Stormzy. The remix was taken well and currently sits on around 2.8 million views. This then shining a bigger spotlight on the Australian drill movement, with commenters beginning to turn their heads towards 1-4 and the Aussie drill scene. In March 2021, Demons, who was associated with the 21 District gang, released a track titled Cyber Violence. Now, this track gained quite a bit of attention, and it really looked as if Demons could blow in the scene. However, just under a month following this release, he got himself caught up in a case that saw him stabbing a rival 7 times in broad daylight on CCTV. In April 2021, Demons, who was associated with 21 District, noticed a rival LF70 member who was sitting on the ledge of a counter. Both Demons and his friend then approached the rival LF70 member, asking him where he is from. And in a shocking turn of events that was caught on CCTV, Demons and his friend began attacking the LF70 member, stabbing him up to 7 times in his neck, back and chest with a box cutter. The LF70 member was rushed to hospital and luckily went on to make a recovery following the attack, with Demons then being apprehended by police hours later. Demons ended up only serving a year in a juvenile detention for this stabbing. He was later released in 2020.
Bro, how old is he? Man said a juvie. You see how big that motherfucker was?
Talk about the incident in an interview in which he was asked about it, and he said,
"Can you tell me about the stabbing that you were involved in? What happened there?"
You know, just personal beef, eh? Just had a problem with one of my brothers and one thing went to another. It was either me or him, you know? He's in the wrong area at the end of the day.
It was actually only a few months following this almost fatal stabbing that a younger that was allegedly associated with the Greater West Gang Section 60 and 1-4 would be stabbed to death following a brawl, thus leading to 2022 becoming an extremely dangerous year between these large street gangs.
I swear I've counted like 3 bodies. It's not bad, bro, in about 7 years. That really ain't bad.
Killed and another 2 teenagers are fighting for life after a late-night brawl in Sydney's west.
On the 1st of September 2021, 18-year-old Orbski, who was rumored to have been an associated of the QSB set, which was based around St. Mary's, and was allied with other 27 gangs. Anyways,
Orbski.
on the 1st of September 2021, Orbski and a few friends were walking in Blacktown. They were noticed by alleged rivals from the MOB gang, which was a crew based around Blacktown. A massive brawl then broke out in the streets, with members on both sides retrieving knives. Sadly, however, Orbski was stabbed multiple times in this brawl, with 2 other 15-year-olds also sustaining knife wounds as a result of the deadly brawl. Orbski was rushed to a hospital, but sadly was pronounced dead a few hours later. Both 15-year-olds went on to luckily survive the attack, with police then launching a murder investigation hours after the attack. Several people were arrested after the murder. This included 4 17-year-olds and even a 14-year-old. However, I couldn't find who was found guilty and charged. Rest in peace, Orbski. Dozens of tributes poured in following Orbski's death, with people from all over the internet showing their love to him. A few witnesses to the crime would later come out stating,
about 6 or 7 guys running after a couple of people. They were screaming pretty bad.
It was also stated that the death of Orbski may have been a retaliatory attack for a 16-year-old who was beaten to death in Doonside only a few weeks earlier, around a few streets away from where the deadly brawl occurred that claimed Orbski's life. However, this is just alleged and isn't confirmed. Rest in peace, Orbski. Over a month following the death of Orbski, on the 29th of November 2021, a group of Proper 60 or ML60 members, as a quick note, Proper 60 is a gang that is based around Maryland's 2160. This Proper 60 gang being allied with other inner west gangs and having a rivalry with gangs like 1-4, LF70, and RFA17, you may know the Proper 60 gang as A Huncho actually reps it. Anyways, on the 29th of November, a group Proper 60 gang as A Huncho actually reps it. Anyway.
So Proper 60. So if I remember rightly, so he beefs 1-4. I don't know, I'm confused. I ain't gonna lie, my man's mentioned so many gang names. It's like,
a group of Proper 60 members would be walking outside the World Gym in Western Sydney when a group of 1-4 members noticed the rivals, unleashing what was described as a hail of bullets onto the Proper 60 members. The bullets narrowed rivals. Walking outside the World Gym in Western Sydney when a group of 1-4 members noticed the rivals, unleashing what was described as a hail of bullets onto the Proper 60 members. The bullets narrowly missing young children that were playing in a daycare. However, Murat, who was a close friend of A Huncho, was shot in the leg with his bone appearing to shatter on camera. Although
yeah, I knew it. He's my beef. I didn't even know this. I think I've heard of that A Huncho once. I don't think I reacted on the shit. I think I watched a one video.
Luckily, he survived the shooting. This entire incident was caught on CCTV and was one of the most shocking things I've watched, with it being reported that around 18 bullets were shot toward the Proper 60 members. Now, multiple other tit-for-tat incidents occurred between the gangs following the shooting. However, I'll only really be speaking on the most well-known incidents, as so much has happened within this gang rivalry in Sydney. The next incident in the beef, however, was an extremely brutal and vicious home invasion that occurred in the first few months of 2022. On the 5th of April 2022, a group of RFA members got the drop on a rival 6-7 members home from Doonside at around 2:30 a.m. CCTV showed a car containing the RFA members driving down Cameron Street in Doonside. 6 members of the RFA gang then got out of the car and walked towards a home that belonged to an alleged 6-7 member known as Razy. The RFA members then broke into the home and attacked Razy's brother Star. In the CCTV recorded on the street, you can actually hear Star screaming after he had been stabbed, followed by his dad then rushing in to check on him. This being when the RFA members turned their attention toward his dad, stabbing him as well.
I should have laughed.
That his mum died before she was also stabbed badly.
Oh shit!
Stabbed his dad, then rushing in to check on him. This being when the RFA members turned their attention toward his dad, stabbing him as well. It's then believed.
Man said they poked up my man. Didn't get him, got his brother. Done up his dad, done up his mum.
That his mom died before she was also stabbed badly. With the RFA members fleeing shortly after the triple stabbing, Star, his dad, and his mum were rushed to hospital, where they made a steady recovery following the attack. The occupants then told police that 4 people armed with knives stormed the home, with police then establishing that the group first assaulted Star, before his mum and dad rushed to his aid, in which the mum and dad were both stabbed. Luckily, however, they survived. Police then treated the home as a crime scene and collected forensic evidence, leading to the arrests of the teens involved days later. This triple stabbing was was later referenced in unreleased RFA tracks, in which the rappers rapped,
Sneak right through the backstab his dad. We tried to turn him back. I didn't give a fuck about his mum, cause she got stabbed too.
Now, following this almost fatal triple stabbing, the Sydney Royal Easter Show was beginning to get in session from the 8th of April until the 19th of April 2022. If you didn't know, this show was annually held and was highly anticipated each year for its entertainment. One of the people working at this show was
sorry about that, people. I didn't even realise I had to
Uwati
fucking look up and I see my camera die. I was like,
and
whoa.
whilst it looked up for Uwati,
I think
who
it's
was
been
even
that long.
having
It's
a
only
child,
90 minutes. It's
sadly
been
on
like
the
30
11th of
minutes.
April 2022, only 6 days after the triple stabbing that had occurred, Uwati was sadly stabbed to death at the Royal Easter Show. On the 11th of April 2022, at around 8 p.m., a group of RFA members would be attending the Royal Easter Show. It's believed that a massive brawl broke out at the show, resulting in people being attacked, and it was believed that during this brawl, Uwati was stabbed multiple times in the chest by a group of RFA members. It's rumored that Uwati's 15-year-old relative was also in attendance, and upon hearing the news that Uwati had been stabbed, his 15-year-old relative began chasing a group of 3 around with a knife, before he then went on to be arrested, with a video even emerging showing the arrested screaming 6'7" mother. This being a reference to the 6'7" gang from the 2767 postcode that has a rivalry with 1-4 and other allied gangs. Uwati was rushed to hospital, but was sadly pronounced dead moments later, with a murder investigation being launched. Now, before I continue, it's believed that Uwati wasn't in fact a gang member, but allegedly knew a few members from the 6'7" gang, thus sadly making him a target. But either way, rest in peace, Uwati. My thoughts and prayers go out to his friends and family. Following the death of Uwati, his killers went on the run and would begin to rap about the crime with an alleged 14-year-old member of the RFA gang, even going on to remix Tay K's track titled The Race, that was rapped by the alleged 14-year-old RFA member. Now, in July 2022, after a few months of being on the run, Uwati's killers were arrested. This included a 14-year-old among the 3 teens arrested. Police made the arrests after watching hundreds of hours of CCTV footage, phone data, and social media. All 3 have gone on to be charged with the murder. However, I couldn't find if they were sentenced or not. Uwati was described as a happy and outgoing man with a loving heart. He was a caring brother, a loyal friend, and a selfless son and partner. Rest in peace, Uwati Pele Falatolu. It was in the months following Uwati's death that members from the LF70 gang began to release music that gained loads of attention. In June 2022, the LF70 collective released the track titled Pine Grove, which currently sits on around 385,000 views. Now, remember I spoke about the shooting that 1-4 members carried out on Proper 60 members, hitting A Huncho's friend, Murat, in the leg. Well, Murat decided to flee Australia to Turkey in July 2022, after a large amount of money was put on his head. In September 2022, however, he would sadly die following a heart attack after a gym session, with news of his death hitting Sydney very quickly. Rest in peace, following a heart attack after a gym session, with news of his death hitting Sydney very quickly. Rest in peace, Murat. My thoughts and prayers go out to his family and friends. Even though Murat didn't die due to any rivalry, his opposition often mention him, with A Huncho carrying his name in a more positive way, often shouting him out in his songs. At the beginning of 2023, LF70 were making serious noise within the streets of Western Sydney, releasing the track titled Ching. This currently sitting on an impressive 500,000 views. They wouldn't stop there and released the track titled Run Up in October 2023. This also gaining a good amount of attention, currently sitting on around 225,000 views. Now, RFA 17 also released one of their first songs around this time, releasing the track titled Traumatized in December 2023, with people beginning to watch the scene once again. Blanco, who is a well-known UK drill rapper from Kennington, even took a liking to the track, posting it on his story and showing love to the RFA 17 collective. Now, it's believed that during this time, Razy from 6'7" was set up by a girl, who had subsequently given his location to rival RFA 17 members, who followed him in a car for a few minutes on camera, making threats toward him. Luckily, however, he managed to get out alive. As of recently, YP from 1-4 would be released from prison, following that 2018 attack on rivals. Upon his release only mere weeks later, he became a priest and decided to give his life to God, instead of living the gang life, thus leading to him quitting the music scene. This always being the best outcome from this road life. As Realest thus leading to him quitting the music scene. This always being the best outcome from this road life, as realistically the gang life only ever leads to jail or death, and rarely anything positive. He would actually appear in an interview in which he spoke about changing his life, and even spoke about a murder plot against him, this plot being foiled by police in January 2024.
Does the past and this murder plot concern you? Does it worry you?
So I don't get about nowadays, boys. Man go smoke something. Man go tell the whole world.
People wanted my
life. Sit there crying their eyes out and so what?
I wanted to certain people, and in due time I hope they can forgive me, but I was young and dumb, and
In March 2024, RFA 17 members released the music video to their popular track titled First Thing First. This music video also contained another track titled Trazil. Now, this song gained quite a lot of attention, just showing that these youngins are the future of Australian drill. And whilst it looked as if these young rappers could make it out of the streets just under a month following this release,
but yes, people, that was Australia's deadly gang war. You know what I'm saying? That's split into two videos.
As of most recently, on the 12th of April 2024,
that's mad.
members
Man,
alleged to be from
37
district
what was it? I turned that
gangs
24
would
minutes into a 36-minute video.
Also known as Zaya.
I'm a real
Zaya and his
dedicated
older
reactor.
brother would be
Yes,
stabbed
people.
multiple
Australia's
times by the
gang war.
members. Both Zaya and
GW
his
Greater.
brother were rushed to
West
hospital.
versus the inner
Sadly,
West. You know what I'm
however,
saying? 21st versus
Zaya was
27.
pronounced
I
dead
found out a
prior
lot
to
of
the police
shit.
station moments
Man said
later.
a
Following
couple bodies
this, a
been
murder
dropped.
investigation was launched, with the people
Couple
that
madnesses where
supposedly
mums
committed the
and
crime
dads got
going on to
cold.
brag about it
My
on
man turned to a
Instagram
priest.
Live.
Yeah,
These lives
shaders
being
looking a bit
recorded and
nuts. Can't lie.
saved. In the end, however,
Yes, people want to
three
get a lot
teens
off
were
my screens.
arrested
I
and
can
charged
get
for
back
the
on my
murder.
screen. You
Rest
really
in
know the
peace,
fucking
Isaac.
deal, man. Roll to Reactions, really some latest channel coming out the UK by far. Drop a like, comment, subscribe, all of that. Hit all my links in the description ASAP. Big shouts to UK
Now,
Drill
it's
Plug.
not known if Zaya was
man.
involved
Gang
in
shit.
any gangs, with some people claiming he was close with 6-7 members, and some saying he was a civilian and didn't in fact have any gang rivalries. Either way, however, rest in peace, Zaya. Since the death of Zaya, however, nothing else has really occurred within the beef, with a lot of the tit-for-tat incidents going unnoticed and not even being reported in the news. Now, if you have learned anything from this video, however,